stolen, and then that makes Molasses feel a little bit less confident in moving forward and trying to yoink a little bit of that gold away from you.
All right, well, let's see if they're going to be able to play that aggressive type of game early on. One thing I've actually forgotten to ask you so far is that I know with the with the latest patch, you were not the biggest fan of the every single game smoking up as 5. Are you surprised they didn't change it? Do you like it now, or do you not mind it now because there's just so much to do out of the map where dropping a ward at the rift or getting one of the watches down or something like that? Do you just... What's your opinion on it now? Because I know back then you didn't really like that every game you had to smoke as 5 to get out on the map.
I mean, the bigger map, early on, I'm sure I'm not going to mind it, right? Because there's just so many more unique warding spots that teams might look to exploit, and, you know, we can figure out a few more extra things. But as things progress, I'm sure I'm going to have a similar sort of mentality that I just don't want it to be expected, you know, kind of like the regen funneling from supports, you know, buy 5 salves in lane for your position 1. I'm glad that that was removed, and hopefully similar sort of thing can happen with the smokes in time.
Okay. Well, it is a interesting split between some of the ward usages, though, that we've got. You see Radiant, an aggressive one drop down at the top twin gate. So I wonder...
They seem to know.
Yeah, all right, they're going to see.
Oh, no. Maybe Imitator's just going down bot. So looking to try and... No, never mind. He's just pairing down here. So he was trying to go get a 3v2 start. I mean, I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen more tri-lanes happen at the very start, right? Because it's very quick to be able to get up to that top side. You don't even need the TP scroll to be able to make it happen.
And quickly, what about this mid matchup between Echoes and Phoenix? Are you just expecting a farm fest between the two, just to trade spells? Nothing really crazy? Nothing
crazy at all. I mean, Phoenix is going to try and play as much up in the face as he can without getting that tower aggro, and look to try and stack up those wild axes, especially if he can look to do it before those runes come up, right? You know that Beastmaster is going to get a lot of that farm, so he wants to make sure that the wave is pushed in to allow him to pick up at least one of those water runes for free. Of course, Puck has the additional movement spell to enable her to close in the gap a little bit further, so I think Beastmaster mid is going to do just fine.
Does Slark go into a similar category than what to the Life Sealer, with how you mentioned like Bounty should be able to play pretty well into these particular heroes in the lane?
Yeah, as Bounty gets more levels, right? I think early on it might have a little bit more difficulty. I mean, it is, again, a dual melee lane, so I think Molasses is going to be over the moon that this sort of situation has happened. But yeah, once Molasses hits level 3 specifically, that Janata just really starts to ramp up in damage, and the cooldown reduces as well. So you're able to get it off twice per creep wave as opposed to just maybe the once.
Not while I'm alone.
It's so weird looking at the small camps with how close they are to the lane. Yeah, dude, you surely can't miss that pull, right? It's just...
The Radiant one, there's no excuse, I don't think. Honestly, probably Dire either, but yeah. I don't know. It's not exactly prime real estate for the creeps to be in, you know, risk of death coming through.
Oh, Heart. A little bit of trouble. Shuriken's not going to be enough. Beautifully done from Undyne. Puts himself in a compromised position. And he might go down as a result of that, but it's going to be okay. Just able to limp away, forced to pop the salve as well, but a lot of damage being put into the two heroes up top here on Dial.
I don't know how this works, and I probably should, but you know how, like, with the Glaives of Wisdom, with the poison attack, you can go underneath the tower and use them without having the auto attack on, and then the tower doesn't actually take aggro? I'm not sure if Janata works that way or not, but it'll be interesting to see if it does, and Molasses is going to look to go for a few more of these dives, especially early when Hart, I mean, he's already so low on resources right now. I wish Marblu was playing between the tower and the Dire base, just so that he could look to go for a few of those courier snipes, because at least now he's been given over a couple of tankos. Actually gives 2 instantly over the Heart.
Even though this is a Monkey 5, you can't particularly man-fight him.
He had 2 lead charges.
And that's really... Oh, Heart? Okay. Oh, they still get him, actually. Scatter Blast. Beautifully done. It's going to be able to blow him up from downtown. So the start of the lane's very much favoring Meteor. And importantly, those kills down bottom, it's going to make it that much more difficult for the Mirana to leave Legion in a solo matchup versus TA and the Monkey King. And I was thinking you might be forced to do so with how rough of a start we've seen them have up top.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Undying almost feels useless up in this lane right now. As soon as he goes forward, he's just going to get Scatterblast, cookied on to get his gold yoinked away. The best that he could look to do right now is make pulls happen. So he's just trying to not show on the lane. And looks like he will at least be able to get this one off. But will this enable them to go for the dive on Heart underneath the tower? At least he just gets a 3/4 pull. Not bad. He's gotten the Wraith Band delivered, so he's looking to try and get some pressure back onto Molasses now, which I think is really what he needs to do. Just make the most out of that Essence shift. Only one really having a good lane so far is the Beastmaster, but it's as expected. It's not like it's at the expense of Puck. Puck's farming too.
Does look like Phoenix is doing a pretty good job to shove out the lane and then go back and farm the jungle and make some stacks as well. So more than likely is going to be able to get a triple at the Ancients. And it looks like that'll be the case. So yeah, Phoenix, that's a bright light for the boys on Bright.
He's going straight slump as well. That's what I like to see, baby. Play them drums.
All right. Bottom lane, we're seeing a rotation come out from Undying. I believe the ward expired though at the Twin Gate, so they're not too sure the clockwork's here.
Nice little rotation if they're able to catch TA.
Should be able to. Cog's going to be able to set up for the arrow. He's going to try and address the Cogs, and yeah, well, they're going to be able to get out of them. So like you said, no damage. TA's okay. And meanwhile, they're actually going to rotate Marblu instantly down to the bottom, so we've got a tri lane.
I'm not sure if he walked past the Watcher vision. I don't think he did, so they don't quite know that he's not down here anymore. But again, like Slark, he's nowhere close to level 6, so he is still going to have his farming hindered while Bounty Hunter continues to zoom on ahead. He's got the Vanguard as well on the Bounty, so they can just keep him away entirely.
Or Irving.
Not the river.
Very nice. Whoa, all right, just gets blown up. The supports are a very high level with all the kills we've seen in the side lane. And you know this Bounty Hunter is more than okay to be playing solo versus Heart.
Look at Marblu as well. He's getting ready to be yoinking away that Rune of Wisdom. He wants to be right there at that 7-minute mark. Maybe even predicting that there's going to be someone on Bright looking to camp this one out. Putting an Observer Ward behind the tower as well. So a lot of movement is giving some value, and they'll see Imitator moving on forward, so he might die here.
Got leaps. He's got a couple.
But I mean, he's already back at half HP. They get hit by a meld. Having to pop a salve after just coming back feels awful, doesn't it?
It really does.
Looks like Undying wants to do a similar sort of thing. Oh no, Puck's chasing him.
Did he smoke for this?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Quick
He's got the quick fingers.
Oh, he got it.
He got it. It's worth it.
Look at the space for the Slark. This is a big win.
Oh, Marblu got denied to the neutrals. Oh, well done. Did Dai get the other one? Who got the... TZ got the Wisdom Rune as well. Okay.
So this is something that is happening a lot more in pubs as well. Previously, like we saw in our first Western Europe games, teams were forgetting about not one, but two. There were 2 Wisdom Runes up on that spot, and they just weren't able to recognize the value that it gives. I'm seeing supports like level 5, 16 minutes in if the lane goes badly for them. That's how important these Wisdom Runes are, just to be able to recover and at least have that early mid-game impact. Arrow on Echo.
Oh, nice arrow from Imitator. Raw. And Phoenix in the river's going to be able to find the angle for the Roar as well, so very nicely done. I mean, this is that, again, one, the really only person who's off to a great start, because meanwhile, Slark's getting dived onto the tower, and Molasses, I believe that was a track kill. I'm not sure if he just got the level 6 off the back of the kill. Regardless, though, they're even getting Legion down bottom too, so it's just... Mate, mid lane is where it's at. Phoenix has to completely carry them through the early game.
I kind of want to see Molasses go through that Twin Gate just to be able to move down towards the bottom side, but there's no heroes there, and they know it because of the Observe Ward behind the tower that they placed in the setup towards that Wisdom Rune. So while he's still got this this Vanguard, there's nothing really that Molasses is worried about in this top lane. The plus side for Hard is that now at least he's level 6, so he'll be able to get away, regen up. There's always a way for him to get rid of the track as well with the Dark Pact. But I mean, you're just getting more and more gold going to Wei. What can you do?
Might be forced to Shadow Dance. Blue just out of range with the cookie, but that Shadow Dance on cooldown now, so he actually might be forced to just go play the jungle. I don't... Maybe you just want to support the Soak top, like get Undyne, he's level 6, and wait till the Beastmaster has Scepter to rotate, because Phoenix is only one component away. He's very, very farmed, but I don't know if the Slark can keep playing top now.
But again, like, TZ just rotates bottom immediately. He knows exactly where Irving's moving around. They might be able to scout out that he's using this portal up to the top side, and they absolutely will with that TA trap. So can they get a bit of a backstab off here, or is it just going to be another life fed over by Undying? Okay. It's not too bad.
Maybe the...
What can you get in response, though? I mean, all the while this is happening, TA's farming. But it's worth it. LC comes straight back. Probably could have had time to move just based off of those TA traps, though they had the vision to see that rotation was coming up there.
Oh, Irving, he connected with the Primal Spring. He's probably going to go down as a result to that. I thought he was just on the outskirts, but TZ and the Templar Assassin once again being able to add another kill to the tally. These guys really making it difficult for the Legion to lane by himself, and we haven't even seen Echoes really rotate as well for the puck, and he might consider it now with this power rune.
Hart knows that he's under vision as well, and he's actually getting followed by Molasses, so has to be very careful about his positioning here, even stealing away some of those last hits with the Shuriken toss, and then gets killed as well. I don't think that was while he was tracked, so at least it's not going to be a huge amount of gold, but he already knows that his game is in the bin. He has the Hand of Midas queued up, and he wants to stay as far away from this bounty hunter as he can. It comes to the point in time where you literally need to just go back into the very top and the very bottom of the map and pray that they don't have any sort of ward set up for you. And the plus side is you're a Slark. You'll know. You just got to carry around a couple of those sentries to protect yourself.
Now, do we like that Molasses has gone bottom here with the bounty hunter? I mean, he can rotate very easily, I suppose, so maybe that's just the wrong question with the gates now.
I mean, my question is, who's soaking top, right? Like, I don't know if Marblu being up here is actually going to mean all that much. Maybe it's just enough to be able to keep the LC pressured out, force him back towards an ancient camp already. He doesn't have the Vanguard finished, and he's going straight into that Blade Mail. Seems like they're still holding on to this Blood Grenade as an eventual, we need to use this to kill the TA if we can find her.
Smoke's going to pop instantly. TZ. Oh, great position with the Monkey King. They were looking to smoke down bottom off the back of the Scepter completed from Phoenix, but Monkey was able to sniff that one out, so this should give plenty of time for Molasses to be able to reposition.
I'll see Molasses, but he will see the Hawk and look to remove that one, so I think, yeah, there we go. The drums start going. He's got those 18 stacks. So 15 plus is where it really starts to have a lot of impact. Other than that, it feels a little slow. Remember, it's him or his units that are able to provide that, but well, they're going to have vision of the puck TPing in. Irving should be able to get away as well, but instant track reapplication.
They need more people down here, man.
Oh, they cut him.
If you lose the Beastmaster, that's the top of the net worth hero, and he's probably going to go down to the Kisses. Irving, nothing he can do to keep the Beast alive, and he's going to go down as well. Looking to try and get the Snapfire beforehand.
He got it.
But he will not be able to do so, and now Clockwork is going to die inside the cogs as well. A double kill for the Templar Assassin. Great rotation for him, looking to get involved inside that engagement.
At least the LC got the dual damage, though. It was at the very end off the back of that puck coming through. But again, it's another kill that they were able to get onto a lot of these heroes. Slark, I really don't think he could have joined in that fight, even if he wanted to. And I'm a little surprised that he hasn't bought a few sentries for himself. This is where he died previously. He's been farming under it for quite some time. He should know that he's under complete vision.
Oh boy. This is going to be a frustrating duo. They might lose Molasses actually. Oh, no detection.
No detection. It feels like they want to use that Blood Grenade on the TA as well, right? But honestly, even on the Bounty Hunter, it feels pretty nice just for a little bit of that extra movement speed slow. He is certainly a quite speedy hero just on his own. even without phase boots, going into this Greaves build and basically trying to make himself as unkillable as possible. They might even just have Bounty Hunter tank this mid lane. He's got the Vanguard. Why not?
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
I guess at least Bright are taking an objective on the opposite side. So they're going to be able to find their own T1 tower as well. See what they're going to try and look to do off the back of it. Hookshot from Undyne's able to catch out Marblu. Going to push him back into the Roar as well. Another duel victory for Irving.
Okay, that's pretty good. So they get the tower, they get a kill, they get dual damage, and they D-ward. So that's one of those good early rotations that you need to be making. I mean, if you're playing this Beastmaster as a mid laner, he needs to be playing a little bit more actively than you might expect as an off laner that just sits in a lane and looks to push it out. I still think he needs this Helm of the Dominator, though, to be able to make anything happen, just because that's going to buff up the Slom as well. Remember, it's you or your units that really start to stack up a lot of those right clicks, a lot of those stacks on the drums of Slom.
Do you feel like there's any in particular now that he's looking for to, like, ones maybe with bonus attack speed, just so he gets those stacks faster?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's even like the Hellbear Smasher, but there's also just the Hellbear, whatever the other one is, that gives you a little bit of attack speed if you're slightly off the mark and he ends up dying. Just uses it in an AoE, which always feels quite nice.
Are starting to bring some of their heroes top. They'll be a little bit too late. They will get the tower though as soon as Roche TPs to the other side of the map, and a perfect timing because they've got the Desolator now completed as well. They are aware though with that Hawk.
Down on the bottom side, Irving wasn't able to get the kill even with the Blade Mail onto TZ.
Back to top, Echoes. Early use of the coil. Shadow Dance going to be able to protect the Stark for the moment. They shouldn't have the AoE damage to kill him off inside the ultimate. Hearts are going to be really cautious though. The Bounce will not escape. Beautiful body block from Molasses, and now they're just going to kill everyone else, dude. They just evaporated. Nothing that Bright were able to do. Meteor Gaming seemed too far ahead.
It's Roche time now. They can have all the vision that they could possibly want, but they're even just going to get rid of it with that AoE damage coming through. And I mean, look at Monkey King in the mid lane. He's going to die, but it's a small price to pay for just securing this Roshan quickly for yourself. I like these sorts of Roche attempts, right? It's off the back of a successful fight, incredibly close by. That's when it's worth it. Otherwise, really doesn't feel like the first two Roshans is going to be worth your time when you could be spending it, picking up that extra net worth. But well, with that, they're going to be able to give that farming Aegis over to and maybe he can look to take a little bit more of the dangerous farm on the top side of the map. Got to feel that, I mean, TA, she's going into the Aghanim Shard, and we've got about 3.5 minutes left until the Tormentors come through. But TA Ags feels pretty decent this patch, right? Just being able to move around, pick up that farm at an even faster rate.
Bottom, Irving might be in some danger. Yeah, the Blade Mail's going to put TZ in a very low health pool. Let's try and catch up to him under the tower. Yeah, was a little bit hesitant though.
Almost has the Blink Dagger for himself though, so I want to see him sit back and just farm a little bit for himself. Should be just after this next creep camp or two that he's able to pick it up. Of course, 17 minutes has gone by, so we get some tier 2 neutral items as well. Gossamer Cape means quite a lot actually. If you're able to get right in on top of that Bounty Hunter, you dodge out the Janata, you dodge out potentially a TA with a Meld Strike onto you, so maybe he starts to adjust his play once he picks up this Blink Dagger to be even more aggressive.
Okay. They're going to see TZ with that high ground ward. Still, yep, the blink on Irving. Looking for the cut down. Quelling Blade is in the backpack though.
Yeah.
Well, top's also getting pushed in as well. So both sides going to start trying to put some pressure on towards the tier 2 tower. But Radiant definitely will be able to take this down at a much faster rate.
Don't know if they saw that the Moonlight Shadow was going on, so maybe they're going to be able to find someone slightly off position. We do have that Blink Dagger coming out though for Irving as they make the jump, but it's off the mark.
Team's coming now.
I think he hit the creeps.
Yeah, he did. Smoke across the map. Irving's in a pretty decent spot to pop the smoke and get the blink out as well. Try and get rid of the track and then jaunt away. They're going to see Imitator, though, running underneath the cliff ward. So they should be able to at least find one track kill. They'll make him work for it, but the long-range staff holds him short. So I get the kill space for Heart, though. Still, though, it was, I suppose, Meteor that got the tier 2 tower, and Bright, they only got a little bit of damage into the bottom one. So now with everyone down at this side of the map, Meteor, they might just try and push into the tier 2 here as well.
Makes a lot of sense, right? They've got the advantage. They can take away the ancient camp. It's about to be at the 19-minute mark, so they can take the next one as well. And, I mean, Tormentor's going to be spawning in a minute, so if they can steal that one away, plus
jump in.
Another tier 2.
Look at the solo duel. They're going to have the damage just by themselves. Irving won't be able to get the duel victory, but still, that's going to be both supports that are taken out of the team fight. Finally, something going the way of Bright and Easy and Phoenix. They're able to get the bounty hunter as well, and they're not done as Irving jumps over the top of the river, chasing down the Templar assassin. She's got the ages, but they should be able to bring her down the once unless there's a refraction blink away. Did they get a glimpse of it? Oh, they did. They see exactly where he is. So Irving's still locking onto his target. They got a stun. Heart pounces there at the last second, stopping it at the buzzer. And oh, do you wait 10 seconds for Jewel? What's the call? Come on, wait it out. Just don't let her escape. Ah, boring.
Wonder if they're considering going back for the Tormentor now. I mean, it's a Clockwork and a Mirana. Clocks is great. Mirana's pretty terrible. So maybe they're just going to pressure in that bottom side. Maybe look to try and catch them out as they look to make this rotation back out onto the map without that TA available. Still didn't use that blood grenade on Irving. Well, he is going to be able to secure a bunch of these Lotuses. I think he's just got a full inventory right now, which is what's holding him
He's going to die
back.
now because of it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what's going on here?
He wants his quelling blade.
Oh, no. Anywhere? Any boys? No senses needed. All right. Irving's chilling.
Use the blood grenade or destroy it, man. I really thought he was going to use it onto the TA as she was running away, but despite getting that blink off, she was still caught at the end of the day. But if you're not going to get any use out of it by this point, I really think you never will. So no Tormentor focus yet. Phoenix is a little deep here, but a real stun to hold him into position. And it's actually Molasses that needs to be a little bit careful with his positioning if he's going to go in this deep. You have to assume against a bounty hunter that they're going to have a couple of sentry wards laid out.
Hunting bounties. I'll take that.
Do you... What do we feel like is more than likely going to be the item progression for Phoenix this game?
I mean, my preference is that he does go into that newish, like, Bloodstone style build and just be able to stand and fight. The longer that this Drums of Slom can stay going, the worse time a TA is going to have, right? Because it's all magic damage. Even if you get the BKB, who cares, right? You're just worried about being able to get rid of those refraction charges and let someone like the Slark really go to work. So something like Radiance is going to be able to do that. Something like the Bloodstone enables your own survivability. And finally, they're going to go in towards the Tormentors now to try and pick this one up. They'll be praying for Undyne to be the one to have it. For a little bit of that extra information, but it's Mirana instead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So it feels to me like they just want to get into the Blink Dagger next for Phoenix. He's got the level 18 coming up fairly shortly off the back of that Wisdom Rune. And of course, like we mentioned before, Gears, Mist Hook, Mist Arrow, Mist Axis. It gives an instant 20 application of the Drums of Slum. So that's going to be big, like just to allow that damage to come through thick and fast. And it's going to mean...
He's going to run under a trap.
Silence
No
trap.
Dark Pack now. Dire not moving down to bottom as well. The chain control needs to be perfect. And it is. They've got the damage thanks to TA being nearby. So that early shot pick up for the Templar Assassin paying off massively, Jer. I mean, that's almost enough value in itself with getting that kill onto the Slark. And now they're going to catch up the Mirana detection. Oh, yeah. She's going to be able to pop that invis. So they're going to get another kill on the creep wave. It's right in front of the tier 2 tower. So Meteor, they're going to be able to get a nice chunk of damage onto this one as well.
They will. They can make a rotation back if they want to. I'm almost wondering if they're considering going into this this Tormentor, but TZ sees exactly what you're doing. Oh, is he actually getting their damage reflected onto him?
Oh, are they going to have the damage? Going to get pretty lucky here with some of the procs. Jump over the top. He's going to be able to line up the boundless strike, and now it's given enough time for Meteor Gaming to be able to react and TP in to protect TZ. As Irving, oh, he's tried to go down to the furthest corner that he could find.
That is
Legion
real
would not be able to escape.
No Slark, no Mirana, and they assume that they can just do it themselves right under their vision after they took away that Watcher. I mean, it was a really good positioning by TZ, and I got a compliment as well. His choice of items going into the Pavus on the Monkey King, just giving that 300 barrier damage. Of course, it's really good for any target that gets roared or gets gone on with the duel, but also just for yourself, right? Toss it onto yourself. You've got that damage block so that you can always use that tree dance if they don't exceed that 300 damage to be able to stop the jumps from going on. Saw there, it allowed him to get back to safety.
How good is this bounty shard? I didn't know you could actually use it on allies.
Who's actually going to be landing right clicks from it, though, is the thing, right? Like, you're probably wanting to jump in, and that's going to break it. So the stun duration, I don't think it's going to get too much value out of it. Feels like a little bit of a saving tool.
Okay.
Even just the lower cooldown on it feels kind of nice, too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane Dire looking to try and contest it. Radiant have a pretty good set of traps and wards nearby. Undyne still without that second point of the hook shot, so the range is going to be lacking. Phoenix, though, is run into Molasses, and well, they'll have plenty of damage this time inside the duel with Phoenix nearby. So we are up to 58 damage now for the Legion Commander.
Not looking too bad. I mean, you probably could have asked for a little bit of extra scaling, but I mean, he's got his own Aghanim Shard, and against a lot of the physical damage that they've got right now on Meteor, it's going to allow him to be just that so much more survivable. An additional 15 armor potentially when you're going in against a TA feels amazing. You know, TA,
Oh, they're actually going to use the kisses. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tia wants to protect herself from that duel, from the roar, from anything that's just going to allow you to get right in on top of her. And I really love Irving's next item choice as well. He's going into the Heaven's Halberd just so that he will have seen that they've got the Lincoln Sphere in the backpack, the recipe on at this point in time. So he knows that he needs something to break it. Heaven's Halberd, great way to do it. They know this Roche is up top though. Rocket Flare's going to scout it all.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if they're going to be able to connect fast enough though. So Kiss is on cooldown, Coil on cooldown as well for this fight. Phoenix is not back to base, and he needs the resources on the Beastmaster, so they're not going to have him for a little bit of time. And you find the angle though on Undyne to get the hook shot. It's falling low, he's going to go for it. Heart's going to be able to jump in as well. It's a beautiful cogs to push them out of the pit. Do they just look for the kill? Irving's going to try and move in. Undyne gets the Aegis, but the cookie from Blue onto 3. And now with the duel as well, they're not going to have the damage without the Beastmaster. Templar Assassin's going to reign supreme. Maybe Phoenix can do it by himself, but his BKB is still on cooldown as well. It was looking like a great start to the fight for Bright. Phoenix might be able to clean up the AoE damage, but it's just not enough. Radiant, they're going to be able to clean up, as in the end, they'll find a 5-man wipe.
That's so unfortunate. Phoenix was kept out of that fight the entire time. I was just waiting for him to come in. There's no better time to be able to use this Drums of Slom than when everyone is clumped up into this small area. I mean, of course, Undyne, what a great hook shot in to be able to land that one. But it was the Wukongs being laid down by TZ that just prevented that. There was no way for him to find that blink angle in. They just kept him zoned out entirely. And, I mean, he went in after 3 people were dead already, so there wasn't that follow-up damage needed. So, I mean, you could still see he's standing there to the bottom side. TZ was scouting him out the entire time, and yeah, once he comes in, it feels like the fight had been over.
Seems like Echoes has been playing,
though, right? Like, it does.
Yeah, it was almost enough to be able to clean up, but just need a little bit bigger of a health pool. Maybe that's where that Bloodstone comes into play, like you were mentioning. You know, he's got a Shiva's currently queued up. There's actually Irving bottom lane as well. It's going to be in a lot of trouble. Radiant, they're going to be able to connect with their rest of members. I mean, they won't even need too many of them.
That's the other aspect of this Bounty Hunter shard as well. It's not necessarily, again, for the cast on others, but the lower cooldown means that you can just wait for the cooldown to be up after using it the first time. You get the 1.6 seconds stun, instantly go back into the Shadow Walk, get another hit off. It's 3.2 seconds of stun if they're not holding any kind of status resistance, which feels pretty nice.
But that's a lot of control nowadays. Cookie's only 2.2. We could go through all the stuns right now, and that could be one of the highest in this current game if you're able to use them back to back.
Would be probably Mirana, Max Arrow. Oh yeah, Puck. I'm going to be a little bit careful, not wanting to get caught out inside the base, although he, of course, has the Lincolns. So does the TA, so it feels like they've gotten past this scary point now on Meteor Gaming, where they have the potential of being caught out solo. Maybe they just need to adjust their kill priority. You know, is it going in onto the Snapfire that's got those multiple saves? Is it going onto the Bounty Hunter that's holding onto a lot of these auras?
Wow, great coil. It's going to be able to set up for the Mortimer Kisses. Undying makes the attempt to try and cancel, but the damage has been dealt. And you just got a Slark who has no impact this game. Heart shows up to the fight, but there's just nothing he's going to be able to do. For the entirety of this game, it's always been on the back of Phoenix to potentially turn this one around, but it's too much pressure for him. It's looking like a mighty hard fight back in. I mean, maybe one more engagement, and they might look to call it quits, but Radiant, I mean, even without the Aegis, they know no fear. Full set of barracks mid. They're going to look for bottom next as well.
I was even just thinking, like, is the level 20 going to change anything out? But he's only getting plus 35 for attack damage. That's not really going to do all that much against all this. They've got the mid creep wave pushing in soon enough, so maybe they think they can look to stick around, but still respecting the fact that Bright high ground feels relatively strong. So, yeah, no Primal Raw cooldown on 20 anymore. I'm not sure if the max health aura would have been the better option, but again, he veered away from that Helmet Dominator build that would have enabled a little bit more of that Drums of Slom to start to come out.
I'm going to double back off this smoke. MKB just freshly completed along with the level 20, so they're looking to jump inside the lane. His heart instantly blown up, and now they can go for the supporting cast as well. As Undyne is in trouble. They've run into the Mirana in the tree line as well. These heroes don't have buyback. That's just a slow, painful bleed out for Bright. A couple of their callers will be able to re-enter the base. But Meteor Gaming, they're looking to pillage on further. They know no way to stop. Hopefully the Rampage as well to celebrate the Game 1 victory for Meteor.
That's an important one. We keep talking about it, but this is just getting us closer to that 5-way tie that's starting to brew a little bit.